Out of all Pokemon games, Pokemon Indigo Disc is so far been the most anticipated DLC to be released in Scarlet and Violet. However, there have been rumors that have been going around that somewhere within the DLC, there's a clue that might be a huge giveaway towards Pokemon's next game. Now, I'm not saying that I actually know what Pokemon's planning on, but there are some hints that I think will lead towards a good hint for what the next Pokemon game could be around. Let me show you more on what I mean. So, this guy on Twitter is named Riddler Khu, and apparently, he's a super accurate leaker who gives people riddles towards what Pokemon's been working on. And there are some things that I want to speculate on, and which I think this guy might be putting out towards Pokemon's next game. So a while ago in July, Khu posted this tweet saying one of them grasps the key of the lore, not Lacey, and it's a big spoiler for the next game. This message interested me a lot when I read this recently, so when I was playing Indigo Disc, I was kind of more paying attention to all the details between the Elite Four and what they had to say for themselves. Interestingly enough though, I found the most interesting conversation to be between Drayton and Crispin. So in the League Club, Crispin tries to figure out what Drayton was planning on during our attempt at the Blueberry League. Crispin eventually gives up though on figuring out what Drayton's plan was, but leaves Drayton with some unusual advice saying that he should stop doing these villainous schemes since they make Drayton look like a bad person. Though that message was describing Drayton as the bad guy, it reminded me of a similar group of people within Pokemon Scarlet and Violet who also and were portrayed as the bad guys when they were. And yes, the team I'm referring to is Team Star. You see, every Team Star member was portrayed as an antagonist who was responsible for rallying you up trouble against the Academy. But bringing Pokemon's next game to be something about Team Star just seems a little too much for that to happen. So we're gonna have to rule things out here. And to do this is where I think one of my theories comes into play. You see, a while back, I discovered that Miridion has the ability to discern a person's character just by looking at them. This means that Miridion has the ability to judge the good and the bad of people, and I believe if Miridion really liked the person, it would tend to want to come out of its Pokeball. And believe it or not, the only two characters that Miridion just seemed to rarely come out for is the professors of the Crystal Lake and Penny, the leader of Team Star. Now, as much as this may seem a little confusing on why I think Penny's the answer to Pokemon's next game, there's another riddle that I think we need to take into account. You see, Khu posted another riddle that shows Kanto, Johto, Unova, and Paldea with a shocked emoji saying 2024 prediction. Now the thing is about these regions is that they all have something in common. And no, I'm not referring to the names all having colors within their titles. What I'm referring to is where the pictures are from. And there's a mobile game called Pokemon Masters that features all of these exact pictures within the game. And if you didn't notice, this post was posted during November 23rd, which is the month of Eevee Day. And believe it or not, they recently added Penny into the game along with many other Eevee events that were able to be played during that month. But the Eevee events are not the main source we're looking at. The source I think we should look into more is Penny's Sing story, because there's something interesting in what she says here. So apparently, Penny says that in Galar, there's a fairy tale that exists about a Sylveon vanquishing a dreadful dragon Pokemon in the story. Now this fairy tale was also mentioned within Shield's Pokédex, but a fairy tale representing Pokemon's next game would seem intriguing to some people. You see, by looking up what a fairy tale is, you can see that it's usually about magical and imaginary beings. And since Paldea is speculated around dreams and imagination, this might be what Pokemon's next game is supposed to be around. Plus, there are other hints that I think will support this theory too. Like, for example, House from a region we do not know. However, we do know that he made dragon types. Dragons seem to be the main source of villains of the fairy tale, so it's likely that whatever family Houseful was from might have been foreshadowing about dragons being evil. And also, Gamefreak describes in her history class a fairy tale about 4 treasures that were gifted to the king. And believe it or not, later on we can learn that the story was real and that we're actually able to find these treasures. This might indicate that some fairy tales actually exist in the Pokemon world and are just secretly not being told that they are real. And secretly in the Detective Pikachu short, there are 2 very noticeable pictures featuring Lugia with 5 evolutions and Rayquaza with the Orthopter Dragon Pokemon. This might be one of Gamefreak's classic maneuvers using pictures to hit the next generation. So with all this, I believe this fairy tale does have a likely chance in Pokemon's next game. But there's just a few things I think we should consider about it. Like, remember, this is a gallery fairy tale, not just any ordinary fairy tale out of the blue, meaning that someone or something has to be related from Galar. And the only person at the moment that I could think of that has a big impact on being from Galar is still going to be Penny. Penny has this very unique personality that feels different from most characters. She's a shy person, sure, but she's also someone who is very kind and willing to step out of her way to help anyone out. even if it sometimes means getting herself into trouble. Similar to like how the protagonist is played in most other Pokemon games. Just try to help people out the best they can. And not only that, but Penny's appearance also seems to have some unique touches in Scarlet and Violet. Apparently, she's the only character to seemingly not wear a uniform throughout the whole game, and considering the fact that she's one of the main characters we meet, it's odd that she specifically doesn't wear one. Seemingly, every student pretty much wears a uniform at the Academy. Even Team Star's outfits are just Academy uniforms modified by Atticus. So if we were to take this, plus our kindness towards others, and our odd connections with Miridion, it makes me think of the possibilities you could create with a character like this. Having a character with a path that can lead anywhere is something that can make them very unique when it comes to wanting to add to their personality. And this is pretty much the reason why I think Penny relates to the fairy tale the most. She's a pure soul who loves Eevees, including her ace Pokemon, Sylveon, which is funny since that's pretty much what this whole entire fairy tale is based off of. So if anything right now, I'm believing one of Pokemon's next games has to do something with this fairy tale. It's pretty well hinted, it's something that I've been speculating for a while, and I think it's likely something Pokemon could be building towards in the future. Now, I'm not fully sure on how the details will work for this, but if Khu's riddle says that one of the Elite Four members grasped the key to the lore, this is all I can think of at the moment. So I hope this sparks some interest, and if you really do like this theory, be sure to share it with others. So with all that, see you next time everyone.